everyone, it's Kathi and I'm back with the Organize, Energize podcast. I am here with my friend and colleague, Carolyn Gross. Carolyn helps executives and companies redefine their leadership strategy as they rise above the chaos. She's an award-winning keynote speaker. She's been coaching executive business owners and medical experts for over 2 decades. Carolyn's forte is helping people reinvent their life for greater business success in these uncertain times. And here we go. These are a bit uncertain. Thank you so much, Carolyn, for being here. I am just excited to talk to you today.
Thank you, Kathi. It's my pleasure.
We have so much to talk about, but let's start out for people who don't know you. What do you do and how did you start doing it? How did you begin your business?
Well, I always say a lot of times when you're going to start your own company, your hobbies will be an indication of what you really want to be when you grow up. So my hobby when I had a sales job in the food service industry was on natural health. I was a craniosacral therapist. I did all this mind body kind of work. And then eventually what I found out, even though I had healing energy in my hands and I could give people great treatments, was I always had ideas when they were on the table. And so I was just really a natural born coach, you know, but that's what I did before. It was health and wellness and of course, sales for a professional career. Yeah. Did you know that?
I did. I knew a little bit. Gosh, we go back for so long.
Yeah.
So tell me now, what do you do? What challenge do you help clients resolve?
Well, I'm really somebody who, when people have unexpected crisis in their business, in their life, I'm the person who can help them kind of put the mosaic pieces, especially if they feel like shattered by what's happened. And we all know what's happened in the last 2 years. I'm just rounding it up to 2 years at this point, right?
Yeah.
So I help people really redefine and reinvent their lives. And, you know, as you know, so many of us have gone from being out in the world to now being in and online. So that's a huge piece of it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So for people who are reinventing themselves, what's the one tip that you can give to people to help them kind of get clarity on how they want to refine and redefine their life?
Well, if you really have to majorly make a change, I think you do need outside support. I do think you need to get into some type of group or hire a coach. And now that there is so much access available online, but don't do it alone is kind of my, don't do it alone. You need a navigator. Yeah.
Yeah, and an outside person to kind of see your life, because we get so stuck in the muck of our life that we can't even see clearly where we're stuck oftentimes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So even though it sounds promotional, it's actually actual and factual.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It takes, masters hire masters. It's one of the chapters in my book. It's so very important that you understand that you can't do everything. You can't be everything. You can't see everything, especially if it's your life,
Well, and some people are sort of giving up, and what's the point? You know what I mean? Especially if they're past a certain, number in their age. And I'm like, girls and boys, 100 is the new 70. Reinvent yourself, be vibrant, be fabulous, do that thing you've always dreamed and dared, wish you would dare to do. Do it.
Absolutely. It's never too late.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, for those of us who are in our business and we're feeling a little bit depleted and overwhelmed and stressed out and freaked out, what would be a tip that you would give them to help them re-energize what they're doing?
Well, you don't really want to look at your business when you're freaked out. So the first thing you have to do is you have to, get your mojo. You've got to boost your confidence. You've got to get your creative juices flowing. We can't solve the business problems of today when we're in freak out mode. So the first thing is always get your mindset in the right place before you initiate or engage, and then the magic will happen.
Yeah, shift away, stop looking at what you don't want to look at, for sure. Yeah, I love that. So you've been through a lot, and I know a lot, and we go back. But what would you say is the one lesson that your business has taught you? Like, what would you say is that little aha moment that you've had?
Well, I had such a strong desire to be a keynote speaker on tour, on stages all over the place. Now, again, as I said earlier, a lot of time your hobbies will tell you, what you really want to be and do, with your life, or when you grow up, however, however old you are when you're watching this. And the thing is, I used to go and see these great keynote speakers, these great, fabulous presenters. And I was like, that is what I want. And then, as I was on the rise, and my first book was Staying Calm in the Midst of Chaos, which which is of course applicable today. But I wrote that before 9/11, and sure enough, I got a book tour, 24 city book tour from 2002 and 2003. So I was really on the trajectory of me realizing my life dream, performing, changing lives, being on stage. And then I found a lump in my breast, and I had stage 3 cancer. So here's the tip. The tip is, when life delivers you surprises and crises that you had no desire to experience, you've got to work them. You've got to capitalize versus awfulize. And
that's a good quote. Capitalize versus awfulize. Absolutely. And you're a remarkable example of resilience and what people can do to take crisis into, chaos into calm. And I know, so that's what you did to overcome it, was you just kind of started putting systems together. I think at that point we were starting to work together a little bit, and you were calling in other people to, join forces to help you, right?
Well, I mean, I redefined my business model and became a consultant in the medical realms and a medical researcher on the immune system, of all the things on the immune system, because I used immunotherapy when I had cancer rather than having surgery. Yeah. Look where we are now. Like, if you don't know, people ask me questions about, health all the time, and they will, ask, well, what is the biggest secret you have for, anti-aging and staying? And I'm like, a strong immune system, and they're thinking of something else, right? Like acupuncture or diamond glow facial or something. And I'm like, oh no, strong immune system. You can't go through aging unless you're here. And you have to have
another quote. Okay, so people want to build a strong immune system. What's step one if someone's like clueless about this?
Well, vitamin D and vitamin K, is the number. You got to start with vitamins. That's for sure. You got to start, and then detoxify, fortify, and simplify. So we can't have these really toxic lifestyles and take vitamin D and K and think we're going to be okay, right? So, yeah.
Right.
And simplify, that's your lane, simplify, get rid of all the muck. That's your lane.
Yeah. So that's what you did to overcome your big obstacle, is you just decided to just focus on holistic healing, building your immune system, learning all about it. Now I know you're a go-to expert to some medical people as well for what you've done.
Yeah, so it's funny because I do coach business owners that have medical practices and doctors as well. And it's only because that I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, B, that I healed it, and then C, that I became a researcher on immunotherapy and a patient advocate. So I went away from the stage for, if you will, 10 years of that dream life where it's all about me, and then it became all about health. And now, I get to rebuild and re-navigate, because we do have so much chaos in the world, and that is my subject matter expert. I'm a subject matter expert in chaos and rebuilding your life. So
yeah, I'm with you on that. And you're really, really good at it. So if you had one big organizing obstacle that you had to overcome in your business life, what would it be, and how did you solve it?
well, I hired you.
Oh, well, I wasn't heading there, but thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the systems in place. You know what I mean? It was like, here's 2020. Of course, those files are smaller than 2021. But, I didn't have the systems. I didn't realize all the cute and fun things I could do to organize my business, from the Freedom Flyer tabs and folders, and ways to just have the past be organized and have the present be right in front of you. And you helped me with that. So I didn't know how to categorize it effectively.
Yeah, it's funny. We all have different things that we know what to do. And it goes back to, it's kind of been a resounding thing through all my podcasts is, number one, masters hire masters. But another thing is that, we're all collaborative. Like, a lot of us know things that other people don't. I mean, if I ever had immuno issues, or I've referred people to you that, are on the healing journey. It's like, let's call on the people who've been down that path. Yes. And if you want to reinvent your life, do it with something that you're passionate about, because then you'll have the energy to keep going forward.
That's absolutely underlining an exclamation point to what I just said. Have it be something you're passionate about. That's right. Yeah. And some people probably found new passions during COVID, because they went, oh, I never knew I loved paint or cook. You know what I mean? They might have found a new passion. And I know you've always had good food over at your house. So
we love to cook. Thank goodness, It's a good thing to do, togetherness during COVID. That's for sure. Although we didn't get into the sourdough bread thing. Did you start making sourdough bread?
No.
Yeah, I never went there.
That is not in my health profile. I don't eat a lot of wheat. Yeah.
Oh, how about kombucha? Did you start doing kombucha?
Oh, that's how I healed from cancer. I had kombucha when and that was actually somebody, my husband works for Whole Foods, and one of his team members made gallon jugs, the homemade stuff from the bathtubs, whatever, versus what you can get in the store. Now, of course, the health food stores, there's so many really great companies, but there's nothing like getting kombucha on tap. I will say to people, there's a big difference in the intensity if you get it on tap versus in a bottle, because it just isn't as strong, but
yeah, and it's easy. I mean, it's kind of prolific. If you don't watch out, it'll take over your whole cupboard.
Whole house.
Ready. Yeah, we're getting ready to start kombucha in our house.
Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. But again, good for the immune system and good for detoxify. Perfect.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So there's going to be a free resource that you're going to offer the people down below. We'll put the link in that.
Perfect.
And, whatever you want to give, the link will be right there, gang.
So 7 tips for reinventing your life. That's going to be the resource.
Yeah. Very, very appropriate right now for all of you who are looking to switch careers or reinvent or readjust, or whatever you want to do with your company, or redefine just yourself. Make sure to download that, the freebie from Carolyn, because she knows what she's talking about, and definitely check it out. Now, okay, my final question is always, what should I have asked you that I didn't ask you?
Oh my gosh. Well, you could have asked me, who's my favorite type of client to work with?
There you go.
And what really became fun when I started doing this reinventing your life is I started doing customized luxe retreats, so that I could pull people out of their environment. Because, it's coaching is fabulous when you work together an hour or two, and the frequency, the consistent frequency, that's really good. You know, it's like pump and tone. But when you go away and you just focus on how are you going to redefine your life, how are you going to do, you know, a new blueprint for your business, whatever, and you know, sequester yourself, the genius happens. So that was something that really became a big part. And now, you know, I live in the North Palm Springs area, so I have this beautiful landscape that I get to do that work.
I love it. Let's put the link below as well. So make sure that we have the link underneath this podcast. And
perfect.
Yeah, because, you know, going away, I think you're spot on with that, because going away, you've now eliminated the distractions from your regular everyday life, and you are able to focus, and you're around like-minded people, and you're around an amazing coach like Carolyn. So if you're looking to redefine and you want to go to Palm Springs for a little while, do it.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are. It's so good to see you again. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
And I thank you so much for being a guest on my show. Thank you, Carolyn.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Have a good one.
You too.
Hey, thanks for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you want to hear more, feel free to subscribe on the platform of your choice. Also, if you feel so inclined, I would truly appreciate a good rating from you to me. Have a stellar day.